Hey guys, what's up? Toboloco here. Welcome back to our 2010 FIFA World Cup South Africa qualifying run with Scotland. We are in part 2 of this series, and if you didn't watch the first part, then you wouldn't have seen that Scotland are top of the group with 10 points. But this group is very, very close. All the teams in it, apart from Montenegro, are so close to each other. Scotland still need a perfect, I guess, streak to qualify for this World Cup, because all these teams are taking points off of each other, and they've taken points off of me as well. And luckily we don't have to deal with Sweden in this part because we've already played them twice in the first part. However, we got to play Ukraine twice in this one, Montenegro once, and of course Romania and Slovenia. And before we start our match against Ukraine, I'd like to remind you the series is on legendary difficulty because it is the best and most fun way to play this game. Here we go then, at home, and we have Ukraine, another team that could be really, really tough to beat. Of course, Scotland was slightly, ever so slightly, inconsistent in the last video. It felt like we had some scoring issues, and defensively there were some defensive issues as well. However, at the end of the video, we managed to dispatch of Sweden twice, and that's good. That's a very good 2 wins for Scotland, so they need to keep going here by beating Ukraine. Cross that in. McFadden, it's headed and saved, and I missed it. Oh, come on. Now, one issue I had in the last video was Scotland's passing. It's well, it wasn't great in the last video, so I'm hoping after the 2 wins against Sweden coming into this part that it's improved. Well, it should in theory, but you know, theorizing is only one part of it. It's actually putting it into practice. It's a through ball, and here comes Andrei Shevchenko. Can we catch him up? And he rolls it wide at the post. Ukraine's first shot. Not too challenging there for Scotland. He still has it somehow. Hartley. Tackled, but he still has it as well. McFadden. Brown. Is there a chance? Whipped in. And yes, McFadden has scored just before half-time to make it 1-0 to Scotland. That was such a good goal. Like the move and everything to keep the ball as well. Fantastic by Scotland. And we've taken the lead against Ukraine. Very, very good cross here. And the header just enough to squeeze it in at the back post there. So half-time, and Scotland are leading by 1-0 over Ukraine. This is great, of course, because it pins Ukraine back as well. Currently, I believe Slovenia, who are just behind us in the table, are drawing against Montenegro. I believe they are. So, yeah, good result at the moment for Scotland. Over the top, Miller. That was a good touch that time. And, oh, the shot. That was terrible. Surely that should have just rolled in, but no. Slovenia have managed to score against Montenegro. I think they are going to be our qualifying rival in this. I can't even tackle Ukraine. There we go. Ukraine haven't been the best in this game. Not by a long shot. They've been so poor up top. They've barely had any shots. And they can't even link up a pass. They have the same issue as us. We can't even link up basic passes. They can't either. It's not been a great starting game for this video, but at least we're winning. And that is going to be it. Scotland have won against Ukraine by 1-0. A very, very weird match. We scored and then we couldn't finish off our chances yet again. It seems to be a theme at the moment in this series. However, we did enough to win, and Ukraine weren't really that good. Like I said earlier, they weren't very good at moving the ball around. The shots they had weren't that brilliant. Our second match of this video is against Slovenia. And Slovenia are only about 2 or 3 points behind us. If we can beat Slovenia, we'll pull away a little bit with 3 games left to play, which would be fantastic. Obviously, it doesn't mean that it's end of the qualification. Slovenia do actually have a game in hand, and Romania have 2 games in hand, so we're not safe. Over the top to McFadden. Can we get it? Yep. And crossed in, and it goes to no one. Fletcher, not quite, but he retrieves it there. Come on. Come on, Scotland. You can do it, right? McFadden. And it's in, yes! I half expected him to miss that chance, but Nilla has scored that one, and that is 1-0 to Scotland. We've taken the lead here against Slovenia. Ukraine and Sweden are playing each other right now, which is good. I hope they both draw so that they both drop points. I don't want any of these teams trying to catch me up at the top of the table. It's been quite a boring match though at half time, even for 1-0, only one shot each going into the second half. So let's hope it picks up a little bit. Good passing play from Scotland. And McFadden gets tripped. Nothing there, but I think it's because they got the ball first. Montenegro are beating Romania by 3-0. Romania are collapsing in that game. 67th minute. This game has been extremely boring. Massive midfield battle, but then, of course, these two are top of the group. So, you know, it's going to be a massive battle. Can we get another cross, perhaps? Yes. And yes, come on, it's 2-0, and what a cross and a brilliant control by Kenny Miller to score another goal. Look at that, controlled it down nicely and fires it into the bottom corner. Handanovic couldn't do anything about that. And it's 2-0. Scotland look like they're about to win against Slovenia and pull away from the rest of the teams in this group. I'm fairly sure that Ukraine and Sweden are still drawing at the moment, and Romania are losing against Montenegro. It's a perfect day for Scotland. Romania are trying to stage a comeback though. If they manage to get it, that would be outrageous bottle from Montenegro. Slovenia into the box is great challenge, but they got the ball back. And it's saved, thankfully. That's like their only shot of the game. And once we boot this one away, it's game over. Scotland have won by 2-0 over Slovenia. And we might have just condemned them to the playoffs. We have 3 more games left to play. Scotland just need to finish strong against Romania, Montenegro and Ukraine. And they'll be going to 2010 FIFA World Cup in South Africa. So the table has updated and this is what it's looking like. So Scotland are still top with 16 points. Sweden have played more games than us and are only 2 points behind. We have Ukraine next, who are sat near the bottom. If we beat Ukraine, we pull away even more. It will almost shut the door on the other opponents looking to qualify automatically. So again against Ukraine, this time away from home, will Ukraine put up more of a fight? I hope not, but I expect it because they played very badly in the first game against us. So I'm hoping Scotland can score more goals as well if we're going to win. You know, 1-0s are okay, but at the same time, I want to score more goals just to have that safety net in case we start conceding goals again. Finesse shot, and it's just wide from Robson. Ukraine are pressing. Shevchenko. And good save from Gordon in net. It's going to be a corner to Ukraine. Fletcher. Great pass. Miller. Hey, there we go. He kind of miscontrolled it a little bit. And it's like, it stopped this momentum dead in its tracks. Look, as you can see here, look, he got it and he just like stood on it. And then still managed to score anyway. Good goal, but yeah, the momentum was just weird on that play. So Scotland are 1-0 up against Ukraine, and will it just remain a 1-0, or will Ukraine get back into the game, or will we double our lead? I want more goals just to boost the form a little bit, but if we're going to do this with 1-0s, then fine. Miller. He's going to go for it. No, it's tackled by Ukraine. Fantastic defending from them so far, even though it's still 1-0. But they still defended well. Brown. Into the middle. And it's saved. Go on. Oh, they almost scored an own goal there. And we still got it. And it's saved again. Another chance from Scotland wasted. And, wow, it just feels like Scotland don't want to score more than 1 goal in this video. And he's just tackled. Ukraine just do not want anything to go through. But here comes Miller. Into the middle. And it's saved. Go on. Oh my goodness. Like, we just cannot score more than one goal. Shevchenko running on through. I can't catch him. And he puts it wide. There's a ball to Miller all the way through. Not quite at the right angle that I need. But it's gone in anyway. Okay. And that is 2-0. We sealed the game. And finally in this video, we've doubled our lead. I mean, well, actually, I think against Slovenia, it wasn't only a 1-0, was it? I mean, I have a memory like a goldfish. Crossed that in, back post, and that header was tragic, but it's okay. Scotland have won by 2-0 over Ukraine, and we only have 2 more matches left to play, Romania and Montenegro. I reckon if we beat Romania, we will qualify automatically for the 2010 World Cup. Our next match is going to be against Romania, and well, like I said, if we win, then it'll pretty much be game over for the rest of the group. It's going to be tough though, because Romania were the team that beat us in the first game of qualifying. As you can see there, Romania do have an outside chance to steal that spot. I'm not sure about Sweden, maybe, but we'll see. Romania, great passing, and they almost scored that one. Bit of a random finesse shot. Go on. Go on. Oh, he didn't shoot in time. Come on, McFadden. Romania were always going to be tough in this game, especially that we're missing Kenny Miller up top. Our main man is out. And, well, Boyd isn't quite cutting it right now. I mean, he's not going to, because he hasn't even played a single game for us. I think I might have to sub on someone else at half-time just to make it so it's actually my pick. So it's half-time and Scotland and Romania are drawing 0-0. I mean, this result does still help us because it's still a point. I'm just hoping that Sweden aren't winning either. Well, they're 1-0 down to Montenegro at the moment, but I can't take any chances. That's a good ball by Romania, and that's a great save by Gordon. Comes out of his position a little bit and stops the attack. Oh, here comes Romania. And they put it wide. That was a big chance to take the lead and put my qualification in some type of jeopardy. We're desperately missing Miller in this game, our main man up top to score the goals. The others aren't quite cutting it. And even though James McFadden has a few goals, he just isn't showing up in this game at the moment. And it's punched away. Montenegro are beating Sweden by 2-0. So Sweden dropping points and Romania here will pretty much seal Scotland's qualification. Go on. Through ball. McFadden. And again, just pushed off the ball. It hasn't been Scotland's day in this one. We're missing our main man up top, and you can just tell that it wasn't going to be the best quality of games, because Romania really wanted to try and win, of course, because if they did, they would have had an outside chance to take the top spot. So yeah, it's not been a brilliant game, but whatever. A 0-0 draw, fair enough. Scotland haven't been that entertaining in this video, if I'm being totally honest with you. But we have done enough, I feel, to qualify for the World Cup. We'll double check it, but I'm fairly sure we've done it. So going into the final game, Scotland have done it. They have done it. No matter what happens in this last match, whether they lose against Montenegro, win, draw, whatever, we will go through automatically. However, there's a massive battle between Sweden, Romania and Slovenia for that playoff spot. So hopefully it will be an interesting race for the playoffs. So Scotland's last game is against Montenegro away from home. We can just chill. Scotland have qualified automatically for the 2010 World Cup, and I just can't wait to see our group and who else has qualified, etc, etc. Here comes Montenegro, and okay, the goalkeeper just wiped everyone out to get that ball. Into the middle and off the bar by Montenegro. They could have got the first goal of the game. It just feels like Scotland are sleepwalking. It's okay because it's the last game. We've already qualified and stuff. But, you know, I want to go out with a bang. I want Scotland to absolutely thrash Montenegro if possible. But they just don't look like they're going to do that. Damjanovic, and he puts it wide. That's a big chance for Montenegro. McFadden, that was a great ball over the top. And it's in. It's 1-0. McFadden has scored. Great play by Scotland. And it's 1-0. James McFadden has opened the score sheet. Going to be crossed in by Hartley. Header, and it's tipped away. And another corner for Scotland. Boyd. And McFadden is saved. And Boyd didn't even shoot. Oh, I think it was offside anyway, but come on. Like, we could get the chance to score tons of goals in this, but we're just not taking it. Good passing play. And Boyd has scored to make it 2-0 against Montenegro. He gets his first goal of this qualifying campaign after playing about 2 games. So that's cool. He's got on the score sheet. Oh, that's going to be a penalty. A penalty to Scotland, and since it's the last game, you know what we usually do. We get the goalkeeper to take the penalty, and that's a red card for Drinick. Craig Gordon is going to step up for this penalty. Can he do it? I want to try and chip the goalkeeper if I can. I want to try and do a chipped one. A lot of people say I should, so for the first time, let's try it. Gordon with the penalty. Oh my god. I put too much power on it. I actually wanted to put it to the left, but it didn't actually go to the left. What's going on? What was going on there? We almost scored that. I haven't really been keeping up to date with the playoff race so far. We'll see at the end of the video what happens. And Buchanek here is going through. No, he's not. Over the top to McFadden. Can he get the third for Scotland? Yes, he can. It's 3-0, and that will be a 100% game over as McFadden seals off a decent qualifying campaign for Scotland. Decent because they weren't really brilliant, but they still got the job done. Most of the campaign felt very scrappy. Sometimes they had good games, like here against Montenegro and against Sweden as well. I think Romania will be taking that second place spot. It looks like they're about to. They're beating Ukraine by 3-0. And that is going to be it. The qualifying campaign is over. Let's go and find out our groups and round off the video by reviewing the qualification process for all the other confederations. Here we go then. Welcome to the draw. So let's draw the first pot because it's all the bigger teams. There we go. We all know that. We're more interested in who joins them. So in pot 2, it's Switzerland going into Group A. In Group B, we will have England in with Portugal. In Group C, it's Turkey in with Argentina. In Group D, it will be Hungary in with Spain and Denmark in with Croatia. In Group F, it will be Scotland in with Brazil. Okay, not a great start, but it could get better. It could. You know, Brazil's not completely a run killer yet. Norway in with Germany and Bulgaria in with France. Okay, what will pot 3 look like? We have some decent teams there. Australia going into Group A. Group A looks probably the easiest right now. El Salvador into Group B. That's probably a bit of a group of death for them. In Group C, it's South Korea in with Argentina. In Group D, it will be Mexico in with Spain and Hungary. And in Group E, it will be Saudi Arabia in with Croatia and Denmark. In our group, it will be Bahrain. Okay, that's cool. That's decent. Oman in with Germany and USA going into Group H. And in the final pot, it will be all these teams. So Mozambique there, I can see. That's cool. So Egypt have gone into Group A. In Group B, it's Nigeria going into Group B. Group C, it will be Uruguay. In Group D, Paraguay. In Group E, we will have Chile. Come on, give me Mozambique. Ivory Coast, come on man, really? Brazil, Scotland, Ivory Coast and Bahrain. Mozambique go into Group G, and in Group H it will be Ghana. So a pretty standard-ish World Cup, apart from I'd say Mozambique obviously being the standout nation to qualify. That's pretty cool that they made it, but everyone else is semi-standard. Okay then, so before we end this video, let's have a look at the group. So starting with our group in Europe, that's how it finished. It was Scotland going through automatically, with Romania going to the playoffs. Sweden and Slovenia missed out by a few points. Ukraine were too far behind in the end, as were Montenegro. Going back to Group A, it was Norway getting top spot in that one, with Belgium going to the playoffs. Belarus missed out by a single point, and Northern Ireland missed out by 3 points on that spot. Serbia had a really bad campaign, finishing all the way down there with the Faroe Islands. In Group B, it's Bulgaria going through automatically, with Israel going to the playoffs. Lithuania missed out by 4 points. France went perfect in Group D with 30 points. England had to go to the playoffs. Finland missed out by 3 points, and Czech Republic missed out by 5. In Group E, it's Turkey going through automatically, with Switzerland having to go through via the playoffs. All the other teams were quite far behind, to be honest. Even Poland, they were sat in third, but yeah, a good 7 points behind. In Group F, this is quite interesting because Spain qualified automatically. Denmark went to the playoffs. Malta missed out by a single point. That is heartbreaking for Malta. Again, that group, apart from Spain and Denmark, you had minnows at the bottom. Malta, Moldova, Liechtenstein and Andorra, they were all getting points in that group. Malta was so unlucky not to get to that playoff spot. In Group G, is Hungary going through top, with Croatia going through in second. Austria missed out by a point, and Ireland missed out by 2 points. In Group H, it's Portugal going through automatically, with Italy going through via the playoffs. Well, they went to the playoffs anyway. We don't know if they went through. All the other teams weren't even that close, to be honest. And in Group I, it was Germany going through automatically, with Russia going to the playoffs. Holland missed out entirely by a single point. Going over to Africa, and in Group A, automatically we can see Mozambique managed to get out of a group unbeaten, with Senegal and Cameroon and Morocco in there. That is very impressive from Mozambique. Well done, Mozambique, to do that. In Group B, it's Nigeria going through. In that group, no losses, and Tunisia missed out by 3 points in the end. In Group C, it was Egypt going through over Gabon by 2 points. That group was kind of close between all those nations. In Group D, it was Ghana going through over Zimbabwe by 3 points. Unlucky Zimbabwe. We don't really see Zimbabwe qualify for these type of tournaments. And in Group E, it was Ivory Coast semi-comfortably going through in that group. In Asia, it looked like this. So obviously Australia and Bahrain qualified, with Oman going to the playoffs. China and Singapore missed out by 2 points on that playoff spot. Unlucky to both of those nations. And in Group B, it was South Korea and Saudi Arabia going through automatically, with Kuwait going to the playoff over North Korea and Iran, which is quite impressive really, because North Korea are quite a good team on this game. In Oceania, we have a massive surprise, with New Caledonia going through to that Inter-Confederation playoff. Again, you don't really see a new team go through that often, so it's refreshing to see New Caledonia do it. And in South America, we have Brazil and Argentina in the top 2 spots. Paraguay finished 3rd, Uruguay finished 4th, and Chile went to the playoff, missing out on, well, yeah, goal difference. Yeah, even though Chile scored way more goals, they conceded more as well, but they missed out on goal difference, and Peru missed out by 3 points as well. In CONCACAF, it looked like this. Very, very close between all of these nations. So United States and Mexico went through with 18 points each. El Salvador clinched that last automatic spot with 14 points. Honduras, Guatemala and Costa Rica. Well, Honduras went to the playoff on goal difference over Guatemala and Costa Rica, but even so, they only missed out on automatics by 4 points. It was very close. And finally, we have the playoff games from each confederation. So Switzerland beat Italy 2-0 over the 2 legs. So that's quite a Well, not a massive shock, but it is a little bit of a surprise. So Italy missed out on the World Cup. In Group B, it was Croatia beating Belgium by 5-2 over the 2 legs. In Group C, we have Denmark beating Israel by 4-3 in a thrilling matchup between those two nations. Yeah, that would have been a great game to see in real life. 4-3. I love those types of games in the playoff where it's like very, very score heavy. And in Group D, we have England beating Russia by 3-1. In the Asia playoff, you have Oman beating Kuwait by 2-1. In the Asia-Oceania playoff, Oman beat New Caledonia by 2-0 over the 2 legs. Very unlucky, New Caledonia. It's not often that these smaller Oceania islands make it to the World Cup because the process is so difficult. But even for New Caledonia to get to this stage is quite impressive. And in South America / CONCACAF, Chile won over Honduras by 4-1 in the end. So that was your whole entire qualifying process with Scotland. Tune in for the third part where we take on the whole World Cup with Scotland. I hope that it will be fun, and I hope that you guys enjoyed this video today. If you did, then please give it a like and subscribe. Keep it loco as always, and I'll see you again for the next video.